Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm Liane. I'm Liane. Are you ready to ride the Are you ready to ride the Freakwency?
All right, we'll try this again.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger.
Oh, all right. Welcome, Sam Thompson, back. He found it, and he found it again.
He keeps finding it. Oh no. Here.
I know, right? We were just spinning and spinning.
You spin me right round, baby, right round.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. It was just spinning, but we got it. So, yeah, we're back.
What the hell that was about.
I
All right.
don't
Well,
know.
Denise is back. Sam's back. Who else is back? Is everybody else back? Did everybody figure it
Yeah,
out?
we're starting to get some people back in here.
Populate. Please populate.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's see. I wonder if I can bring up wonder if I can bring up the song that Vanilla Dick sent me. He sent me a nice Christmas song. It wasn't the Detroit sent. Oh, here it is. Silent Night. I don't think it's the banner. It's Bob Francis. I think this is it. I'm going to send it to you.
All right.
We were told that I could play this as much as I want. Oh, man. Let's see. What's the fastest way to do it? I don't even know. Well, so I hope all you guys have had a really good week. I just, thank you as always for choosing to spend your linear time listening to this nonsense. Yeah, hope everybody's doing really well out there. No, I don't want to view it on YouTube. Stop pushing buttons. I keep pushing buttons that I'm not supposed to push. It's not good. Comments there, that's where it is. Hey, okay, now I have to reach around my mic. This is just awkward. I feel like the vocal quality's better with the mic and the headphones. Grizzly
Right.
looks great. Sure, he looks great. He always looks great.
I try. I do.
Well, it's effective, whatever you're doing.
It is. I hope.
You hope. Clearly, there's evidence. Denise says. Denise said. All right. So, I don't know. What do we want to start with? Do you want to start with disclosure stuff?
Why not?
I watched the interview with James Fox and Richard Dolan on Saturday night. I didn't watch it Saturday night live. That was just so too tempting. But I did watch it after the fact. And I didn't realize that Mr. James Fox has a new movie, a new disclosure movie called The Program.
Oh, I didn't either.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I think it's probably one of the most the things that the people said. Hal Puthoff, bless his heart. What a gentle, quiet, man, very straightforward. 2 times, James Fox said. So, can you tell me any details? No, I cannot. Just so even. I highly recommend it. It's a $20 buy. It's a little expensive, and I love my freebies because I'm in the business. I shouldn't have to pay for blah blah blah. But when it comes to disclosure, like even if I'm on public assistance, I find the $20 to support James Fox and the $12.99 to support Dr. Greer. I just do. So I'll deal with my Apple Card next month because
Right.
disclosure's dealing with us right now. How's that? So it's a really good watch. I'm very impressed with James Fox. He's kind of a maniac. I feel like we'd probably get in trouble if we hung out. But if he's willing to do an interview with me, that would be amazing. I don't know. I have to ask him. We're friends on Facebook. We'll see. But yeah, it's clear that we're not alone. And from what I can gather, the reality, and I think I've said this before, is far stranger than any fiction that could be on a screen on your Netflix or in the feature film movie theater, whatever. I think it's a lot weirder than we've been told, and I really think that it would behoove people out in the world, no matter what you do, how old you are, where you live, what you think, how you feel, to definitely go over some of these hermetic principles that have seriously been overlooked. I watched another video yesterday and the day before. I found a couple that with the clickbait, always the clickbait, the FBI banned. It's like, yeah, of course they did, because if you actually understand the hermetic principles, it's like a master key to understanding. There was a really good visual that the guy used for one of the principles is cause and effect. And he said, this image is better. And it was a guy sitting there, a cartoon of a guy just sitting there looking like, right? And he's got dominoes all in a circle going way behind him. And it like there's one domino here and it ends there, right? And he talks about the guy who's speaking, how, cause and effect. Sometimes we make choices, go buy a Maserati, go cheat on your wife, go buy 4 cell phones for the girlfriend's kids, don't tell your wife, don't tell, that kind of stuff. And then that's okay. But how long does it take for that kind of stuff to start domino, and then it comes and knocks you over? Like, people set stuff in motion with their thoughts and their actions, and it's not always immediate, but eventually it comes back. It's the law. It's the principle. Whatever you do, the law's working. So best to
Right.
understand the law so that you can use it to your advantage instead of unconsciously knocking those dominoes and leveling yourself later, right? Who knocked the domino over? That dude. So guarantee you, like in a normal societal pattern program zombie modality, this guy's going, life sucks. I always get hit on the right side of my head by a domino. Oh, that always happens to me. Right? Yeah. Gee, I wonder why. But people don't like, as the gentleman pointed out, to be told that their thoughts set things in motion, and it's basically being told that it's your own damn fault. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to how you feel. Like, if you're feeling crappy, observe your thoughts. What's going on in there? Because you feel how you think. But when you start thinking how you feel and you get in that catch-22, that's when, danger Will Robinson. The program is seriously rooted in there. Like that's when you have to really pay attention. So like our heart, our emotions, it's like a guidance system. This is what this woman Abraham Hicks always talks about. It's like all these elusive terms in the woo-woo community, you know. It's not so elusive if you apply the uh hermetic principles to it, you know. And yeah, negative energy feedback loop. But if you put out the negative energy and then keep victimizing yourself and then blaming some outside source because you're not realizing that it's your own nonsense in action moving right back at you as you put it out, you know, it's the as below or as above so below, as within so without. It's so, these things are so simple, you know. But I hope I live to see a day where the hermetic principles are taught at a kindergarten level, right through a PhD syllabus level and laced through all education. You know, because the things we think, man, it's the things we think. And nobody controls what we think, really. I mean, I suppose that brings into the conversation the old conspiracy idea that voice to skull but I'm telling you, you can go on YouTube, our blessed YouTube, but on YouTube you can find videos. I found it, I want to say accidentally, but I was looking up graphene, right? And what is graphene? So I looked it up and I stumbled on this video. And in the video, it showed a bunch of scientists talking about graphene and how graphene can be controlled, like directed. And what it responds to is scalar waves, sound frequencies. So the particular frequency they use, and I'm watching this black stuff. It's just like graphene. It's dust. It's like lead pencils scraping, whatever, but it's graphene. And I'm watching this stuff go from completely incoherent to being made into a coherent shape with scalar waves. Okay. So let's fast forward to 2020 when things went wacky and things were mandated. And I'm looking and I'm hearing things about, well, there's graphene in them thar hills. And I'm going, uh-huh. That's interesting. Somehow it's in the mRNA. There's some kind of graphene. Like whether this is true or not, I don't know. But in the like nano fraction of a possibility. Yeah, cymatics. I'm going to get to that in a minute too. Like why would anybody want to put anything that includes graphene coursing through their veins into their Na, whether it's R or D? Like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Not when I see what can be done. Then, you know, going on Gaia and listening to secret space program people, the 20 and back and all this, you know, regular society probably thinks these guys are all crackpots. But, you know, when a lot of people start saying the same thing and they're not related, then they might not even know each other. You got to pay attention, you know, and the PSYOP attacks that we have endured for such a long time with the lies and the gaslighting and all this stuff. Who's to say there's no such thing as voice to skull? When you have a magazine like Scientific American, I think it was, or modern, maybe it was even Modern Economics. It was something like that. Mainstream magazine with a whole article about how Coors beer is going to start using frequential waves to penetrate into dream time. Okay, so like I'm watching all this stuff on the TV. Well, hello, Weston. Um, thank you for hanging in the other day. That was so brave of you. Test. This is just a test. In case of a real emergency, they'll send voice to skull. Don't worry. Um, well, yeah, like exactly what Sam's saying. See, he already understands, but Sam is also a musician, so he works with sound and knows all this a lot of stuff from whatever. But so like I'll go back to like if you just want to keep okay, so step back from that voice to skull. That's all like things you can't see that exist. We're back to Wi-Fi. Information goes through ether. It does. Thoughts are things, they're electromagnetic transmissions. So if I think something, it goes into the field. If somebody is particularly sensitive, or if I'm tuned into the same frequency as somebody else, they're going to hear me. My friend Randall and I are very tuned in. Like I'll call him and say, is it too early? And he'll say, I was just coming out of a meditation and you popped into my head. Like, of course I did. He heard me. That's not weird. What's weird is when you don't hear things. Like I think we should be hearing everything and learning how to selectively focus and tune into the frequency we want. But the idea that we can't hear everything, which would make you absolutely crazy, but like this is you'll learn really fast how to specify what you're focused on, you know, if we're all freed from the nonsense and told what we are and how we work. So then I'll go back to again to finish my thought finally without a prompt from the audience. Oh, ADHD, I love you so. Consciousness is the commodity. Like, how is consciousness not the commodity? They take consciousness, they take it out of one and put it in another. The 20 and back whole program is based on taking your consciousness and leaving some kind of fragment so that your parents don't know their time travel, squishing time doesn't exist, so they could take you for 20 years and have you back in your body and you don't know. It's the next morning as far as your persona is concerned, and you have some like really weird dream about being in some weird place where people weren't maybe so nice, like I don't know. My friend Eric, he went through the Stargate program as a child. I had several IQ tests done because my mom, you know, haha, the intellect. Ooh, you know, it's like, oh, she's brilliant. I think I tested out at like 163. But, you know, being alive, watching TV, being programmed, who knows what I've lost. Smoke more pot, it'll go back up. No, maybe, who knows. There are some studies that say nice things about marijuana. It's not all gateway drug. You're going to die. Don't do it. I think there's an appropriate way to use all substances if one chooses to. But yeah, so that's it. Like I really feel like consciousness is the commodity for quote the bad guys, unquote. You know, because honestly, it's you've heard how many times the government said, "Oh, if you control the weather, you control the world." It's like, okay, you want to control the material world, you can do it with all kinds of ways. That's great. But you want to control humanity? Control their freaking consciousness. Puff, puff. I puff you. Puff the magic dragon was highly underrated. Ha ha ha. I'll go hide in the cave with him any day. Like I promised myself I wouldn't do it because if you look at the first couple of episodes, my eyes are as red as my hat. Like it doesn't, I don't like that. And I haven't gone to get any toxic drops to make the red go away. So I just figured, really, you can wait till after you're live to go smoke your pot, little girl. Wow, we got a lot of people. It did. It populated. Thank you. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back and finding us. So yeah, the program. It all goes back to that, the program. And then there's my buddy Roderick Martin, who now works with Billy Carson. When I first met Roderick, it was back in 2020, maybe it was 2019, when when Clubhouse was still a beta test, and my friend Layla knew one of the people who started Clubhouse. So she sent me a link so I could be one of the beta testers. And I thought, oh my God, rabbit hole, time suck. I can't do this because I'll just spend all my day in Clubhouse. I won't get anything done. I can't do this. So off the Clubhouse I went. Yeah, Roderick, he posted something on his Instagram, like, and I'm loath to copy these things and show you because I don't need to get Grizzly any copyright strikes or whatever. But he had this armyman, Smalls. You can go Roderick Martin. Go look him up on Instagram. And the army guy is just like, and he's talking about the drones and he's very serious. But, at what level is this guy briefed? I don't know what rank he is. So he's taking orders. Like, and the person from whom he's taking the orders may or may not be briefed. They may be taking orders. As far as we know, whatever. But he's talking about stuff, people pay attention, people look up in the skies, aliens are real, the guy's saying. Then he started talking some smack about how at some point we may have to evacuate. And I thought, oh boy, well, so this is either like fear porn pimpage or, like I said, things are going to get, my prediction, I don't predict things, but I will right now. It's gonna get wacky this year, guys. It's gonna get super whack, super cuckoo. All the more reason to stay focused, be able to meditate, turn in, use the Hermetic principles, because the reality that we're living in is aggregated. Aggregated how? By the collective of 8 billion human beings who are taking all the information, processing it, having their own thoughts, which are all completely chaotic. And what the majority of the collective is thinking and feeling is what's going to play out, which is why, in my humble opinion, the shift all the woo-woos are talking about is shifting out of the garbage we've been told in school and into some kind of hermeticism. Because unless the collective decides to take hermeticism and start practicing it, pretty sure it's going to stay chaotic. Fast track to utopia, hermeticism, everybody agreeing that we like to be happy, we don't like to be feeling icky. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's part of the answer. Yeah, you've heard it before, probably because it's accurate. Like, and I'll go with it's accurate. Why? Because this information was removed. You have to go looking for it. Anything they make you dig for, my mother, anything for which they make you dig, don't end a sentence in a preposition, is probably accurate. The things that they blast at you is the garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. People don't discern the information. They just eat it like candy. My grandfather got here and said, in America, you can serve them shit and they think it's candy. They don't know the difference. The lack of discernment has been here since my grandfather got here and noticed that in 1918. 1914, whenever he came over and got naturalized. So if this old dude is saying it back then, it's only gotten worse, pretty sure. So these people who say about raising the vibration and all this stuff, it sounds so elusive. It's not about raising a vibration. It's about your emotions are energy in motion. And the faster those emotions oscillate, the higher vibration you are emitting. Okay. It's to do with oscillation. This is where it gets into quantum physics. And what did they call me on The View? An uneducated white woman. They blamed for things. Okay. I mean, this is so stupid, right? If things resonate and they make sense to your guts, You think there's a reason they say trust your guts? Like, this is just, I don't know. I want humanity to understand itself. I would really truly love to see something different before I croak. And if these drones, if some of them are actually non-human intelligence, I'm going with we were seeded by alien. If you want to go look at a non-human intelligence, go look in the frickin' mirror, man. What the hell do you think is in your junk DNA? Like, I get pissy here, and I've got a tone which I don't think I like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. A change of the vibe. Woo woo woo. Ah! They're trying to light a fart on fire. Like, I gotta do something because I'm getting too intense. You know? Not angry, just intense. Maybe a little worked up. You need to take a breath. Let's all take a breath. How about we all take a breath? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, in, out. In, out. I have to remember what Senator Burchett said, you know, and maybe backpedal on my that Senate hearing was a nothing burger, you know, and now I'm kind of parroting Richard Dolan and James Fox, but you know, I had to take a step back and think, you know, the idea that they keep coming back, Congress, and then also Senate, and they keep coming back. In 2001, they had one and then they shut it down and they never went back. Like, they're starting to get aggravated. And now with this drone stuff, like, again, if it is non-human intelligence mixed in with this stuff, if we were seated, which I think we were, why would they not come do a safety check? We're playing with matches. Do you honestly think that when we are testing our equipment and technology, when we do destructive things, do you really think that it doesn't affect past the atmosphere into the galaxy? Every time we set off a nuke or a hydrogen bomb, every time we start playing with our little toys that we don't really understand, yeah, H bomb matches. Like, what are you doing? Do you understand that when you drop a rock in the water, the pool, the rings, that what's different with a hydrogen bomb out into space? We weren't alone when we landed on the moon. The moon landing wasn't fake. We got there. They weren't alone. Have you ever really taken a good look at those astronauts when they came back and did their press conference? You would think that,
They were in disbelief.
well, I think they were told, and I'm going to say it, to shut the fuck up. You guys talk about technical stuff, and that's it. Don't open the door to little green men waiting for you, looking at you on the other side of, right, crater. You don't say that. And I'm pretty sure the plausible deniability Kubrick stuff is because, you know, just in case something leaks, we're going to have to put these guys with their layers of lies to cover up the truth. It's beyond the beyond, you know. Somebody sent me yet another copy of the Zapruder film of JFK getting whacked. You know, who needs thriller movies when you have the news and the Zapruder film? If I was sitting next to a guy who had his face blown off, and the camera's watching what I'm doing, if the first thing I do is turn around and try to crawl out over the trunk of the car, do you think it's possible that the shooter might have been in the front seat and she was thinking she's next? Get me the fuck out of this car? I don't know. Her behavior wasn't to duck, it was to get out of the car as fast as I can, clamoring, going that way, away from. I'm sorry. Like, what a shit show. I think it's time to take a breath again. But, and then Stephen Greer and his free website where you can get all, and the Black Vault. That is it Greenberg, John Greenberg, and all of his stuff that he's been, all his FOIA requests that he's put with the public. Like, the interwebs is not the friend of the shadow government. I'll tell you that. Like, if they put it up for our convenience, it's probably some kind of slick way of getting us distracted even more. However, the value add is that anybody can almost get anything. One of the people who was interviewed in the program is that Scottish guy who hacked in to the system, and they were trying to extradite him from England, and they decided in England to forget the extradition. It would cause trouble. He'd want to go suicidal. And so his human rights, the extradition would be in direct conflict with his human rights. So this UK minister, whatever the hell, barrister, told the United States to screw off. You're not taking our dude. As while Obama was was in charge. So this guy, he went and he saw a camera, and he saw a planet, and he saw a spaceship that wasn't ours. So we've got satellites that are watching these motherships and these non-human intelligence spaceships coming in and out of our orbit. I would love to be on a timeline where when in 1947 all that went down with Eisenhower and Truman, they just told the public. It's like, this isn't Orson Welles. This is actually for real. You guys are going to have to stay calm. We can give you some Valium if you need it, but we've got visitors. And actually, they've been here and visiting us longer than we've been a species. So get over it. Like, oh my God. Get over it. Please go watch the program. There are other Army people. It's like I'm giving all the spoilers. Army people watch something crash. They drive to go see what it is. And this being, looks like a guy, starts walking toward them, right? And you hear the video or audio of these Army guys going, oh shit, the guy's got no fucking ears. Whatever was walking towards them had big eyes, no ears, had kind of bluish skin. The spaceship crashed. When they tried to talk, it was making like whatever it was saying, they didn't understand. Please go watch this movie. Oh my God. And then the other thing I keep talking about is, if you have the luxury of wanting to binge something, For All Mankind. Okay, in that TV series, season 5's coming out in April. So you've got probably just enough time to catch up. But in that series, they've got breakaway civilizations. They ended the last season with a standoff. And the guy who's from the beginning of the series, and you're watching him get old and whatever, like, he's on Mars and he's working for the Elon Musk character. And in the standoff, he says to them something like, well, we're going to take the asteroid and we're going to make it come this way to Mars. And then the woman with whom he came up through NASA says, yeah, but we got to bring it home to Earth. And he looks at her and with a straight face says, this is my home. And she says, come on, you're from there. And he just looks at her straight in the eye and says, my daughter's here. My grandson is here. This is my home. So I guarantee you that that's going to be in part of our disclosure, is that there's a breakaway civilization and people have been successfully living on Mars and on the moon because we've got a station on both planets. If Hollywood is slow drip disclosure, then For All Mankind is telling you what the fuck has been going on this whole time. Space Force, another fabulous watch. And of course, my favorite, Resident Alien, because it's hilarious. Space Force is too. I watched that whole thing with David Adair while he was here shooting the music video with me. And we binged both seasons. And he said, is there a season 3? I said, no, it didn't get picked up. And he said to me, I sure know why it didn't get picked up. Boy, they're just talking about things they shouldn't be talking about. I'm like, yeah. Uh-huh. Slow drip Hollywood. There are stargates. We have that technology. This guy named Andrew Basiago. I'll talk about him again. As a child, his father make him go through jump gates. He'd leave New Jersey and end up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Be told to sit there until I find you. You know, there's some really weird stuff going on. And I really feel like, not necessarily my audience, but there are people out there who are going to have nervous breakdowns because they won't be able to deal with it. Like, they're going to need help, really. So if any of you kind people out there, right, exactly. And this is Stephen Greer's point. Hollywood has made aliens the threat, and that's just not the case, you know? And am I saying all aliens are good? Of course not. It can't be. Like, there's a scale. I'm sure there are some cultures and some races of non-human that are, you know, would love to just blow up our planet for whatever, just for shits and giggles. Like, there's that guy out there too, I'm sure. But, you know, at what point do us little kindergartners get to go and walk ourselves to school without mommy and daddy? You know, we've got to take the training wheels off, man. And stop looking to our government to tell us the truth, because that's not going to happen. The truth is going to come out in bits and pieces through several different people, pretty sure. You know? I can't believe I've been yapping for 45 minutes straight and only took one.
You're on a roll.
I appreciate you guys for listening and posting your responses. I really do. So, I don't know. What do you think, Grizzly?
I think everything's true. I think we've been watching everything and not telling the general public. Everything you say is true.
Well, there's no black helicopter outside my window yet.
I don't see a black minivan out front, so
So far, so good. No men
that's
in
right.
black. Thank you, Forest Friend. I appreciate you for saying that. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm out of line, you know, and I can tell you that my middle child won't talk to me because I'm so passionate about this stuff. And probably there are other things I like to blame that reason, but I don't know what's going on in his head. You know, my younger kid said, does it always have to be about aliens? You know, it's like, until the truth comes out, yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does. You know, I think I'm going to take my artwork and put what do you call it? Things underneath them. Captions. like I did 3 years ago when I first started drawing these things. Like I have a picture of a little gray alien, and underneath it says, if I have a flat tire and pull over to the side, will you help me? Or another one of these crazy looking things. And the caption says, would you come over for tea and enjoy a biscuit with me if I invited you? Like, at what point do we calm the fuck down, stop being fear-based, scared of the unknown, and rehabilitate? I'm a very articulate young lady. I have a high IQ. Like, I have no idea. It's probably reduced itself to like 3 at this point. I've turned into feeble-minded, but this world will do it to anyone. Albert Einstein's IQ probably reduced itself too, being abused by our government and being told to shut the fuck up. I don't know. You think he was told to be quiet too? Probably. Probably. What does that say? That's right. And stop weaponizing every technology and every word and everything. The lawyers should be out of work. You know how to tell the truth if somebody's telling the truth? And I guarantee you, I really don't know that there's anybody who could fail this test, right? Or pass, depending on which side you're looking for. Like if I have Sam over here and I tell him to stick his hand out and hold his arm as hard as he can, and I'm going to push down. But first I ask him, what's his name? And he tells me, my name is Godzilla. I'm going to be able to push his hand down. Little old me. I could take Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and if he's lying to me and he holds his hand out, it's not going to stay up when I push it. It's just not. Why is the law not based on that? Power versus force? Dr. Hawkins? The fuck? Are you lying? No. You put a fucking anvil on that thing. It's not going anywhere. No, we've got to pay thousands of dollars and people and their Juris Doctors and oh my God. What a waste of energy. And this goes to what Eric Hecker was saying. Our society is set up to drain the energy out of each individual. How? You're not going to like this one. Anybody who loves watching football, they got you. Why? Because you're sitting there being entertained. Your energy, you're like a potato, and you're watching people and you're being trained to take sides. It's formatting. Formative years. Format years. Give me your child before it's 7 so I can format it like a freaking computer. The Jesuits know. Back to the Vatican has all the information, probably what the root races are. They probably have all of that in there. Right, division. We're not separate. There's only one mind, and we're all part of that mind. At that level, there is no separation. And then the perversion that we live through. You guys. Who needs family for Christmas when you can listen to a Liane talk? Oh my God. So I don't know, you guys. I know what I know. I know what I feel. I feel like I'm correct. I can toot my horn a little bit. I was on Instagram and I saw this guy, Jason Shirka. He put a post and it's this thing, this little box, and it's generating a holographic image. And he's like, spaceship, non-human intelligence, or hologram. So I just went, you know what? More Project Bluebeam. I'm bored. Okay, like 500 plus people have liked my comment. Not that I care. But 3 of these 500 people had to come at me. Like, oh, Project Bluebeam. And usually, like back in the day, I would have gotten into it with these guys. But instead, I did. I responded back, and I ended up turning 3 people into friends now, you know, instead of I was able to transmute it and not look at them like what a bunch of fucking trolls you are. Now I'm gonna come kill you with my words and reduce you to dust. Like I didn't. I tried to engage and ask them why they were coming at me the way they were because I didn't understand because it felt like they were trying to minimize me so that they could puff themselves up and that wasn't really very kind. And what's the intention? Because I'd be happy to have a conversation with you guys, but I'm not going to sit here and get abused. Like, you don't like that I called it Project Bluebeam? Like, only people from TikTok call it that. It's like, yeah, maybe from TikTok. I'm a TikTok miserable failure. I am a 59-and-a-half-year-old woman. So maybe I'm just one of them old people who doesn't know the new term. But really, you have to come at me? The person answered back and said, you're right. I came at you because I just figured you were one of those TikTok idiots. Like, it's the closest thing I got to an apology on one of these things. But it's how I responded, 100%. You know, it's like, what domino did I put in motion when I was responding? It came back really quickly. Clearly, I'm doing better. Doing better. Oh. What is it? Should I get truffle arugula? Oh yeah, definitely get truffle oil and arugula on your pizza. Oh my god, now I want pizza. Stop it, Sam. Go away. No, don't. Oh my god. Sam actually plays some pretty good music. He sent me some. So, yeah. Sam, why don't you post your YouTube link, your music link, or your SoundCloud or whatever it was. Sorry, it was 3 nights ago. That's, I don't remember what the fuck I did this morning. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and post your link to where your music is, please do, because it's cool. Very ghostly. He plays with looping pedals, something that I have failed to learning curve because I was too busy getting my energy sucked by watching For All Mankind 17 times. I'm just as guilty as anybody as falling into the program but sometimes you just got to watch AP Bio and shake off the fucking program, man. Oh my god, what a documentary. I had to watch AP Bio. I had to watch at least 2 episodes of that after. It made me feel better. Yeah. Am I done acting now, or do I a dream role that I want to do? If I would definitely work. I'm actually developing something slowly because I'm a little all over the place. And 3-minute songs are easier to finish and put out there than scripts and then sending them and seeing if somebody likes it and then the developing and then the thing. And like, this is why it takes 10 years from the time you have an idea to actually get it shooting. Unless it's a streamcast, then it only takes 5 years and Grizzly to give you a kick off the fucking branch.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Wasn't
right.
it? That's what I said when I was testing my studio. I was like Beaky Buzzard, and you were like the mom going, "Now you must go. It's time to go, my little darling." And I'm like, "Nope, nope, 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 can't possibly go." Nope, 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 nope. And there's Grizzly going, "No, man, I got to slingshot you. You're gonna slingshot.
That's
Gotta
right.
help. Oh, nope, 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 I can't do that. Nope, nope, nope." But here I am, and there he is, and and what a good guy you are. Like, so many people would be like, "No, we got to do it for my channel." But Grizzly's like here to just help me learn,
That's
and
it.
happy to stream from my channel, happy to stream from his channel. Like, what I really ultimately would love to do is have a project with you, like separate from the stream. Like, I don't know. Like, I want to do something with your Bigfoot stuff. Like, and I want to
Yeah,
work with
absolutely.
live. But so to answer your question, yes, I would love to be on the show Shrinking. If I could have a dream role right now, honestly, it would be on the show Shrinking. They're ending this season with Harrison Ford's Parkinson's. It's getting worse, and his meds aren't working, which is what happened to my mom. So I started doing CBD, doing light language, getting my Vogel crystal and doing like healing things at her. I wasn't brave enough to get a tuning fork or all this stuff, like, because, you know, um, it's a lot when you're trying to take care of your mom and trying to heal the dysfunction and trying to self-realize and trying to advocate in a lawsuit and trying to advocate with Medicare and trying to like keep your life going back in LA. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah, so I would like to I'd like to be on that show as some alternative healer that the crazy daughter calls in and go in there to these mainstream shrinks and start lighting my incense and doing the light language and having them just go like, oh my God, the fuck is this? But how else are you going to normalize the channeling and the stuff except to maybe write it into a show that's popular? And like, I can use Hollywood to normalize the woo woo too, you know? So if you're going to use Hollywood for slow drip disclosure, Liane's going to make shows that use Hollywood to disclose hermetic principles. I actually realized that the lyrics of my songs are very in the lane of hermetic principles. Consciousness is the one I'm about to release called Ego is the Servant. Like, and when I started recording Ego is the Servant, I had music on and I took a couple breaths and I wasn't thinking. It wasn't anything that I wrote. It's like, I write this and now I'm going to record it. It wasn't like that. I just pushed the music and I took a breath and I got really close on the mic and I got really intimate and just whatever came through is what came out. Like, there are no 2 takes. It's just 1 take. There's no editing, nothing. Like, and so I thought, wow. All right. Channeling. It's not just a marionette with no hand up its ass. It's not what it is. It's for real. You know, musicians do it all the time. Writers do it all the time. Information is in the field. You resonate with it. You start in your imagination playing games with it. Next thing you know, a song comes through. It's playing games with the field, being alive, the art of being, the art of transactional, energetic events with the field. Like, you're not going to get any more satisfaction from something outside there stimulating you. It's such a joy to be able to play in my imagination. Like, anybody can do it. Like, everybody has an imagination and we use it to torture ourselves. Like, we've got to stop that. It's like Eckhart Tolle 101, man. Anyway. So thank you so much to Grizzly. Thank you so much to you guys. I really appreciate every single one of you, especially the ones who have been posting and interacting and engaging. I will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful whatever you celebrate, because it's all happening on the same day this year. And yeah, try to stay chill even with the crazy information. Try to transmute it and try to discern and try to stay calm. Don't freak out. Don't scream or shout, 'cause they're here. The aliens are here. Pew! See you next week. Keep riding the freak.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you one?
I'm Liane. I'm Liane. I'm Liane. Are you ready to ride the frequency? Are you ready to ride the frequency?